Hi, how are you? I'm Jacob the Red Wolf, and I am cooking myself a meal right now, and the smell and the nice, sensitive, tasty spices in the air inspired me to make a video of how to do what I'm doing. How to make jambalaya. You can be a beginner, you can make it. It's really simple. Don't be afraid. Come on. Alrighty then, now the sausage, it can be your favorite sausage, but I recommend andouille sausage. See, I've already ripped the label like a moron before I even thought that I was going to film this, but yeah, andouilles. Right there, you see that where it says andouilles? It looks kind of weird, yeah, look over there, see it? Anyway, get any kind of sausage with andouilles on it. It's the perfect kind of sausage you want to use for jambalaya. You can use Polish sausage if you want to. Doesn't matter. Your favorite sausage. Here we go. I've got myself a chicken breast tenderloins, okay? Boneless chicken right here. It's delicious. About this size of an onion. That's all you need right here. You don't need, you know, it recommends, you know, blah, 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 onion or whatever, but this is about the size of an onion you're going to need. I recommend that you put the parsley in its own container, okay? It says right there, 5 containers. 5 containers. Measure parsley and put into container. Alright, well here's my parsley right there. See that parsley right there in between those 2 cups right there? That's my parsley in my own container. Alright? What you want to do is you want to measure the thyme, the black pepper, the white pepper, and the red pepper, and your basil, and put it into a separate container. That is right here. What you see right here is all those 5 ingredients in this little cup right here, ready to go. It's all measured, ready to go. And if you're not used to dicing onions, or if you want to use a knife, go right ahead. But I prefer to use something like this. This Pampered Chef device that I don't know what it's called. An onion dicer. Put this one on top of it and push it down on it like a boss. Punch it, punch it. Ooh. Get this stupid wire out of the way for my camera, and here's the onions. There we go. Alright. I recommend also to use 2 pans. One for cooking, pre-cooking all your ingredients before you mix it into the main bowl. A wok, something about that size. My hand, see my hand? Something about that big. And make sure that your food, when you're going to steam the rice, because you're going to be steaming rice in this, just make sure that your rice does not stick to this, because if it does, you're going to burn half the freaking meal in this, and that's bad. I've done it before. It sucks. Don't do it. I don't recommend it unless you really like burnt food. Do you like burnt food? I don't like burnt food. Carbon? I like carbon in my mouth. Ew. Pre-cook your chicken and your sausage and put them into a separate container. Alright, now what you want to do is you want to start slicing your sausage, okay? I'd say about this thick. About here. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know, perfect length or whatnot. You know, just make sure that your hands are clean and make sure that you slice it. About right here. About this thick. Could be a little bit thicker, like right here even. About that thick, even. You know, you want it like that, that's fine. But slice it thin. By the time I even get this in my pan, it's probably already going to be gone, because I'm going to eat it all. And you go ahead and just put it in a nice little skillet, or a pan, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you think. If you disagree with me, you're a douche. Then you just kind of take the sausage, you know, and kind of stir it around, you know. And make sure in the process of this, don't burn your meat. If you burn your meat, that's a bad thing. Don't burn your meat. This is about what you want your sausage to look like. Nice and good, brown. Some of it may be a little darkened, but not burnt. Before you cook the chicken, if you're going to cook it in the same pan like I am, like I have the sausage, make sure you spray it really good with some olive oil. Bring the chicken. You know that sauteing, very nice. Again, I'm not a chef. I'm just some ordinary dude. Alright, now, that's sauteing for a little second. After a good couple of minutes, start flipping the chicken over and make sure it, you know, cooks correctly on both sides. While it's on the pan, start cutting up in little bitty pieces like this. See, chicken's not quite done yet, but it'll get there. But this will also enable you to be able to cook chicken much more faster and more efficiently. Ultimately, when you're cooking chicken, just loosen up, have some common sense, relax, and just keep an eye on it as it cooks. You know, that's all it takes. Just keep an eye on your chicken as it cooks. Make sure it doesn't burn. Make sure it whitens correctly. Kind of move it around, especially if you're cooking it on like this, you know. I'm cooking it on a sort of a high heat right now. You can cook it on a medium heat if you want to, but I'm sitting here keeping an eye on it, make sure it cooks well, doesn't burn. That looks about done. Nice and, you know, yeah, that's about done. Yeah, that's done. Now that pan that you used to cook the sausage and the chicken is done. You don't need it anymore. The chicken and sausage can be placed in a separate container with it, by themselves, just like this. There's the chicken on top. There's the sausage on the bottom. There you go. The main pan that you saw earlier at this, or it's actually a wok. Get a wok. Woks are really good for cooking jambalaya, by the way. Now it's time to add the onions and garlic that you had in the container earlier. You want to add that in there. Make sure it's not too hot. I'm going to make sure it's not too hot. I think I may have had it a little bit too high earlier. But here, I'm going to test. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's go and get it in there. Garlic. Start sauteing the onions. Turn the heat down just a little bit. Make sure the heat is sort of a mid-low heat. Don't want to have it too high, like I have right now. I have made it a little bit too high, but I just turned it down, so it should be fine. And you want to saute the onions. First of all, get this out of there. What the hell is that? Get the fuck out of there. What the fuck is that? Get the fuck out of there. Alright, there we go. Alright, saute the onions. Saute the onions until the point where they are nice, limp, and clear. After a while, you'll start seeing all your onions and your garlic starting to turn brown a little bit. This is okay. This is fine. Don't panic or anything like that. But this is what this should look like. What you're seeing right here. And that's what you should be seeing. Kind of brown, sort of. After your onions are looking pretty good and limp and nice and clear, not black, but kind of like this, add your ham, your cubed ham. Add your ham in there. Let it saute for a couple seconds, a little bit, kind of stir it up in there real good. Get it all kind of mixed up. All the juices and stuff from the ham will, mix in there. Add some liquid. So if you're afraid of your, food drying up, don't worry about it, because the cubed ham will do the job. There you go. See that? There you go. Yes. And after a couple moments, the spices that I told you about earlier, right here, your thyme, your black, white, red pepper, and your basil, add it in there. And start to turn that around. And this is the point, ladies and gentlemen, where your jambalaya is starting to come together, because you will start smelling the awesomeness that is jambalaya from this right here. This is the point where there's no turning back, man. Oh, I can smell it right now. It smells delicious. Oh my god, the freaking spices that I just added in there. I'd say stir this around real good, and make sure that you simmer this for about 10 minutes on very low heat. It'll give the spices inside the mix time to release their oils inside the mix that you have here, right here. Just the ham, the onions, garlic, and all those spices. You got your red pepper, white pepper, black pepper, basil, and thyme. Now is the time to add your chicken stock. Like that. Chicken stock. Meat, sausage. Chicken, sausage, rather. Turn the heat up a little bit too. Turn the heat up like a motherfucker. Mix that all in there real good. This is about what it's supposed to look like. About right here, And if you see any clumps of, chicken or whatnot that you didn't get earlier, just kind of break them up a little bit, And the ladle that you were using to stir up the meat earlier, the spices, swish it around there, get all the rest of the spices off in there, You want to get all the spices up in there. Alright, I've got the heat on real high. You can see there's a really good boil starting to go right there. Real good. Alrighty then. Now what we want to do right now is we want to add the rice. Fold it in there. Kind of fold the rice in there. Just like that. At this point, it's boiling balls. Since you want to add your parsley. Add your parsley in there right now as it's boiling. Fold that in there. Just like that. Get it in there. Alrighty then, time to cover. Reduce the heat. Reduce the heat to low. If it looks like this by this time, reduce the heat to low. And cover it. During this process, when you're covering your jambalaya, you're allowing the rice to steam, don't remove the lid. Do not remove the lid. Do it for 25 minutes. 25 minutes is your mark. And after 25 minutes, if your rice does not turn out nice and fluffy, you can always recover it, turn the heat up just a little bit more, and do it for like maybe another 5 minutes and check it again. But 25 minutes is your mark. Don't remove the lid. Keep the heat on low, and you should be fine. Alrighty then, after about 25 minutes, lift the lid. Make sure you don't point it towards your face, because it'll melt your face off, and then you'll die. But, Alrighty then, that's right there. That's what your motherfucking jambalaya should look like right there. Give it a stir. Alright. That looks delicious. Look at that. My God. Huh. And it didn't stick. It's amazing. It's amazing. Look at that. This jambalaya right there. Alright, now that is just, oh my God.
I don't want anyone to know. My name is Joe Young. How do you do?
Oh, just kidding. The dog ride on the smooth out ambitious. You know what I'm saying?
Delicious. Oh my
No.
God. I'm Jacob the Red Wolf, and I really hope you enjoyed this segment of making jambalaya. This is probably the only cooking thing that I'm ever going to do. I'm not going to make this a series, I don't think. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't think I know anything else that anybody wants to cook, except macaroni and cheese. And anybody can do that. Thank you very much for watching. Later.